Our next demo for today is improving maintenance productivity, accountability, and professionalism with FlexCart. Jerry Gerlinger is president of FlexCart and designer of the FlexCart product line. Jerry, over to you.
Thank you, Amy. I really appreciate everyone's time to come and visit with us and learn about FlexCart today. We make a very unique line of maintenance carts, and they are unique because they were developed by people who actually use them. And they were designed, of course, specifically for maintenance. I mean, as you know, there's probably a lot of carts out there being used that weren't designed for maintenance. So we built a cart from scratch, ground up, to the specifications of the staff that we were working with. We work with 3 large facilities companies to do this. So we really got to understand what their needs were. And I have a background personally that allows me to understand this, so that the 2 of those things together really produced a wonderful series of carts. The original cart, which I'll show you right now, we call this our FC100. This is what we, at the end of our 2-year process with these companies, this is the cart that we came up with. And it took that 2 years and about 9 prototypes to get through to this design. When we were completely done with it, we knew we were done because everybody in the test, there were 50 people involved in testing it at 8 different locations. They all agreed that it was completed and that everything was to their liking. They were wanting one right away. Let me tell you what we did in this cart that was so important to them and why they ended up liking it so much. There were really 3 things that we focused on. The first was mobility. The ability to move the cart was the thing that the guys in the test complained most about. So as you can see, this is loaded with tools and I'm on carpet and I'm able to move it very easily. We spent a lot of time on that. So it involved picking the right wheels. A lot of complaints about wheels. You guys that are watching this, people who are watching this probably can relate to that. Sometimes we heard stories where they would buy new carts from another company and also buy upgraded wheels that they would put on and never even use the original wheels on the cart. With FlexCart, we wanted to make sure that when it arrived, it was completely assembled and it had great wheels on it. Makes it very easy to move, but you can also see that it's got a design where this handle is back away from the rear wheel, which gives me leverage to move it around. And then also, if you look at this is only about 14 inches wide. So it allows it to be lightweight, maneuverable, snake through tight spaces, tight hallways, go into a room with you when you're working so you don't have to leave it out where it might get in the way of somebody else. So mobility was a huge factor for us. And so we focused heavily on it. That was how we solved that problem. Then we said, all right, what tools are they going to need on the cart? And so we asked this question to everybody in the test. And we created a tool bag that goes in the cart. So it's a little small, job unit that you can pull out and go out and do something separate from the cart. But what we did different was every tool that they picked, 8-inch needle nose plier, we gave it a specific home with a label so that if it was missing, you'd be able to just scan the tops of the pockets and you'll be able to see that the tool is missing. So there are about 80 tools in here in 40 pockets, and you can, in about 20 seconds, see if anything is missing from it. So we gave them the tool set that they wanted, but then we gave them accountability for those tools. Now, these are the most often used tools, the smaller ones. And up front in this cart, we carry the larger tools and maybe ones that aren't used quite so frequently. But we do the exact same thing. We give them a place for the tool and a label, and it's very obvious that that tool is missing. Anyone who is using this cart or inspecting this cart, whether they know anything about maintenance, can inventory the tool set. We like to say that we make a tool like this go from being an expense to an asset because you have such control over it. You never really lose these items. I mean, it's very, very rare. It's probably about a 90% reduction in lost tools. So we have mobility. We have all the tools that they wanted. And then we also, I'm going to scooch up here so you can see, we gave them the ability to organize inside the drawers. And I think you can see that. So each drawer comes with these small different size cups that go in that are changeable and movable so that you can set this up to hold the parts that you want, even label them out. So a lot of times we'll see people label these out and coordinate with shelves in the shop. So you've got complete control over the parts that are carried in the FlexCart. So you combine the mobility and the control and the tool set we have and the parts that you've got and the control you have that in those, that means that you arrive to the job with everything you need. And as a result, you get about 40% increase in productivity. So that was our main focus. We really wanted productivity to increase. And so when we developed FlexCart, we were looking at things that caused wasted time, caused somebody to say, I'll be right back. And so what I just showed you there was the primary way that we solved that problem. But here's a few other things that we added on. We also noticed that in some cases, somebody needed a vise. Now, if you're a heavy duty mechanic, of course, you're going to need a really big cart that can carry heavy stuff. But most people did not need that. But some people were using those heavy carts, so they never really moved them around, right? We want you to be able to take this cart. We want your staff to be able to take this cart. If they'll take it, they'll get that productivity advantage. So one of the things is adding a small vise instead of having a large vise. It makes the cart lighter, and that makes them more likely to take the cart. And you'll see that there's a vise here and there's a small hole back here. You can run a piece of material through, you can cut it off. This area here is a work surface. So this folds down, it gives you an area to take something apart. If you're traveling along, it becomes a box that you can put things on. It won't fall off the cart. On the front of the cart, you can carry up to a 6-foot ladder on this clip. So, and on the side of the cart, this particular cart does not have this because it's a new option. All the new carts have hooks right here that allow you to carry an 8-foot ladder on its side, on the side of a FlexCart. And I'll keep going around here and show you some of the other things that we've got on the cart. The back side has all these great pockets for carrying things that used to pile up on top and create a real mess. So instead of having that, you can pick a pocket that fits, a strap, whatever it is, a large box, light bulbs, rags, spray bottles or whatever. You can put them neatly on the side of the cart there. Now, on the back, you've got a trash can. It's also a really tough bucket, so it'll hold trash or it'll hold something wet or something that you want to contain because it's kind of a mess that can go in here. And then behind that, you've got a space for maybe 2 gallons of paint or tall bottles and cans that would go right in behind the trash can there. Another thing that we heard a lot of complaints about as we were developing our carts was security. Especially in hospitals and hotels and other facilities where they had an issue with somebody possibly coming by and taking something off the cart. So on all of our carts, they lock up very quickly. Each cart will come with a set of locks that are all key alike. And on this particular cart, one of those locks will go here that locks the front cabinet. One of them goes through this rod right here, which goes down through a hole and locks these drawers. And then even the tool bag locks. So you go like this and pull out a cover from behind the tool bag. It's a heavy duty ballistic nylon cover, and it goes over and locks right here. So very quickly you can lock the whole thing down. Another thing that we noticed, especially in some situations, hospitals and other facilities that have hard floors, there were a lot of complaints about the noise of carts. So we spent a lot of time making sure that this cart was very quiet when we moved it. So I told you about the wheels and how they were soft and non-marring and just really good quality wheels. But we also, as you saw, all the tools are carried in these fabric pockets, so they don't clang together. And then all of the drawers are padded. You can see there's a foam pad there. That same foam pad is underneath these bins here so that as you move along, they don't shatter and make noise. So it's probably one of the quietest carts that you could push along. So some of the other things that I could tell you about FlexCart, one of the things that we discovered was very interesting to us. After we went through that process of developing this cart and spending all that time, we ended up getting a really good cart. And a lot of people love the cart. I mean, I thought that nearly everyone that used it loved it, but we actually did 2 surveys and found out that that was actually true, that about 100% or close to 100% of the people who use FlexCart would recommend that other people buy it and absolutely love using it themselves. So we have a great background reference from our customers who use and love the cart. So at this point, it's good for us to put out to ask questions and see if there's anyone that has a question about what I've just told them about this cart. And then I have other carts around me too, that through the next 10 minutes I can pull through and show.
Great, thanks, Jerry. We do have one question so far from an audience member. They're asking us if there's any time-saving studies that can be used for ROI justification.
Yes. So for us, we never did our own time studies, but our customers did them. So I could try to get one of those. We probably had 5 customers, very interestingly, tell us that they got the same result in their own time study. They all said to us 30, but the lowest was 30, the highest was about 50% in their time study of time savings when they use FlexCart. So if somebody needed that, I could get it for them. I'll give out my phone number at the end of this, and they can pick that up and just call me, and we'll get them something regarding that.
Perfect. And just a reminder, you can text in any questions for Jerry and FlexCart in the Q&A panel. Jerry, is there any way to see the FlexCarts in person?
Yes, absolutely. So we are able to travel with carts. We can bring 3 or 4 of them to you and show them at your facility. In fact, we love doing that. So it's wonderful to see it in person. It really helps to understand the value of it. So all you have to do again is just give me a call, and we would arrange to come see you. If there's an issue regarding COVID, we can do what we're doing right now and go through and describe the cart that you're interested in. I think at the end of this, we'll give out the catalog, or we'll have the ability to send everyone who watched this the catalog. So if you have a question about a particular cart, yeah, we can just show it to you right now, go through it entirely, and answer any questions that you have. But in person is always better, and we're always happy to do those.
Great. And can you get the FlexCart with or without tools?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that was important to me when we were developing this was that you could plug it into what you currently use, or if you wanted a ready-made system, you could do that as well. The tool set that's on here is not, everything plus the kitchen sink. It is just what they need. So it's very manageable. And if somebody wanted to fill it themselves, they certainly could. What we do find is about 70% of our customers will buy it with the tool set. And that's because they get that accountability. So if you fill it yourself, to get this accountability feature, you got to fill every pocket. If you get the tool set, it fills every pocket. So you start with everything being full, makes it really easy to see when something's missing. And I think that's why we sell most of them with the tool set. It also is just a lot easier to purchase. Like say you're setting up a new maintenance person. Instead of going, oh, he's going to need this, this, and this, and this, you buy one of these and a drill and maybe some bits to go on the drill, and you're pretty much ready to go. Put the parts in it. So it makes it a lot easier to onboard somebody that's new. Yeah.
Great. We have another question on how many different models do you have?
So we have about 5 or 6 models, and there's this cart, there are 5, and then there's one smaller one. So let me show you real quickly some of the differences. The size of that cart was so right on that we kept them all, the larger carts, all that size. So first one I'll show you is what we call our 200. So this was the next one to be developed. And it is basically the same size cart. The only difference is you can see that cabinet is no longer here. And what we did is we extended the drawers. And what this cart does well is it is a great trades cart. So or somebody who they want to set up something for a locksmith or for a special purpose of some kind, or a plumber or electrician, this is a great cart to use. It's got a larger work surface. It has larger drawers, and it still has the tool bag. And you can get the full tool set with it, or just the tools that go in the bag. That's up to whoever's buying it. But if you're setting it up for that purpose, you put this tool bag in there and then you load in the other items that you need, and there's plenty of space to do that neatly. You have a really good cart that will serve that purpose and has a lot of the same features. You know, you got the ability to carry up to an 8-foot ladder, the 8-foot ladder on the side, 6-foot ladder on the front. You've got the same panel on the back side and the trash can and the locking features and everything. So that's our 200 cart. And then the 400 cart, this is for somebody who's got to carry a piece of equipment, or they have some boxed tools, cased tools that they like to carry in the case. In this case, you have this space to put that in, so they can stack these things in there. People who carry small pieces of equipment, like people in biomed and hospitals, like this cart because there's a good space for their equipment. So you've got the same basic cart, only we took those 3 drawers on the bottom out and gave you a cabinet. And then one other, this cart is also used for some painters who work out of gallon paint cans. And then this cart, our 300 cart, which has a larger cabinet, same cart style and everything, but we just give you more space. This is a great cart for, say, a painter working out of 5-gallon buckets. So you've got 3 options there. And then here's the original. So of those, and we configure one of them, 2 of them into painter's carts and 1 of them into a light bulb cart. So we have the ability to have basically 7 models out of these carts that I just showed you. And then the final cart is a smaller cart we call the FlexCart. A lot of people wanted the same accountability that we offer in the larger carts in something that you carry. So we created the FlexCart, which is as many of the features as we could come up with out of the original carts into something that you could carry up a set of stairs or put into a vehicle. So I won't go through all the details here, but I can certainly do that for any of the audience members who want more information about FlexCart.
Great. And Jerry, I'm assuming that on your website would have a list of all the tools that come with the cart or that can be purchased with the cart?
Yes. So if somebody would like a list, we can send that to them. It's on the website, but you can also email me and I'll send you. We have good videos too that demonstrate each cart, get a little more detail on each design. So yeah, lots of information is available.
Perfect. And then one final question from an audience member. Is there a place for a laptop on the cart, or is there somewhere you can put a laptop on the cart?
Yeah, so for people who are using the laptop, so in this case, usually like a pad, an iPad or something like that would go here, a tablet, or you can stick a laptop in this space. You can use it on top of here. A lot of people like this, the larger cart, the larger drawer, because it has a space that is very nice for a laptop. It can just sit right in here or right in here, and you fold it up and use it, fold it back down and lock it up. So yes, there's a number of spaces that you can put a laptop on it. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Jerry. Any final words for the audience?
Yes, I mean, I would encourage them, if they have any questions or would like to see one of our FlexCarts in person, to call me. I'm happy to come show it. We have a team wherever you're at, one way or another, we'll figure out a way to get one in front of you. And my number, just so you have it, it'll come up here in a second, but it's 614-348-2517. You can reach me directly, and happy to get you anything you'd like to have regarding our products.